Hey there, I'm Lunsford, and you're watching a review of Tumi Magic's Candy Cash. What is up, beautiful people? My name is Tyler Lunsford, and welcome back to another magic trick review here on the channel. Now, if you are new here, then definitely please consider subscribing and take a look on the channel at my past reviews. If you are new here, then welcome. Thanks for stopping by and spending some time with me today. I really do appreciate it, and I'm glad you're here. So, yeah, I don't even know why I'm still talking. I need to start talking about Candy Cash, right? But first, I do want to say that if you'd like to save some money on Candy Cash, then you can go to Mystique Factory's website because they sent this to me so I could do the review for you beautiful people out there. And if you use code Tyler10 at checkout, then you get 10% off your entire first order with them. So definitely go use that code if you'd like to save some money. And once again, not making any money off of that, just me trying to save you some money. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into this review of Candy Cash right now. First off, you need to know what actually is Candy Cash. Well, Candy Cash is a really cool visual effect that you do with a dollar bill and a pack of Mentos. What you do is you have the dollar bill visually change into a pack of Mentos, and then if you'd like to, you can hand down a Mento or two afterwards, but that's up to you. Now, that's pretty much all I can tell you about what it is because it's a simple effect. You change money into candy. And if you want to know what it actually looks like when someone performs it, then you're in luck because I'm going to perform it for you right now. Now that you know what Candy Cash is and what it looks like, let's talk about what you'll be receiving if you decide to purchase it. Well, you get this package right here, and inside of this package is the Candy Cash gimmick. The gimmick that you receive comes pre-made, ready to go outside of the package unless you don't perform with American money. If you don't perform with American money, it comes pre-made with an American dollar bill. So if you don't use an American dollar bill wherever you are, if it would look weird if you did, then you want to do a little bit of DIY to make it work and with your currency. Now, it is not too terribly difficult to do. I did have to repair my dollar bill a little bit because it is a real dollar bill and it's gonna rip on you because bills are made of paper, at least the ones in the US are. I had to apply a little bit of tape to the dollar to make sure that the rip didn't get worse, and it fixed it so the rip doesn't look as bad now. If you saw it in the video, then you did, but if you didn't, then that solves that issue. You also receive a tutorial video online that's about 30 minutes long where they actually teach you how to use the gimmick and what I was just talking about where you want to do a little bit of DIY arts and crafts work where you can switch out your own currency for the American dollar bill that's already inserted in this gimmick. Now that you know what Candy Cash is and what you receive, let's talk more in depth about it. So how difficult is it to perform? It's not difficult to perform at all. It's really easy. It's practically self-working because the gimmick does the work for you. The hardest part is making sure your angles are covered. Really, that's the hardest part. Now, if you are going to be performing this out in the real world, your audience needs to be in front of you like this camera is with me. You have to be just like this, looking straight at the bill, and you can turn it around like you see in the demo, but you can't turn it all the way around. You can just do the little motion that they do. And like I said, you do have to be directly facing the bill. You can't be like really at the side or anything like that. If you're over here, then you might see a little bit of something. So for angles, you need to be looking straight on at the dollar bill. Is there any setup per performance? Well, you do have to make sure that your gimmick is in place and your dollar bill is ready to go and ready to change into the Mentos pack. So you have to make sure it's in place. They include something in your package to make sure that you can, actually do that without having to get anything else. They include something to make sure that your gimmick stays locked in place and ready to go before you perform, which was nice. Is Candy Cash examinable? No, the dollar bill nor the Mentos pack that you have is not examinable. Your spectators cannot hold it, but I guess you could do a switch if you wanted to, but I don't see why you really would. Unless you really want to hand it out, then you can, but it's the initial, change is not examinable, no. Are there any negatives to performing Candy Cash? Well, really the biggest negative I have with this is the sound. You do need to be careful where you're performing this because if you're performing in an environment that's quiet, well, you're probably gonna need to worry because this is not a quiet gimmick. This is something that they even recommend in the tutorial video to be performing in like clubs, like, disco places, maybe corporate events where everyone's talking. And you do need to be careful of your lighting as well because this is a dollar bill. It's see-through if you hold it up to light at a certain extent. So it really just depends on where you're performing, and you do need to be performing in a controlled environment. So the biggest negatives for me, the lighting and the sound, that is the biggest issue. One more slight negative that I'll mention is that since it is a dollar bill, at least for the American currency, because I know some places use plastic bills, but since it is American currency that comes with this and it's paper, it is able to be, torn. It's probably going to rip or tear in some places after you use it so many times because it is a dollar bill. So to fix that, you do have to put some tape on it, which I kind of already talked about earlier, but I just wanted to mention that it is fixable, but it's something that you need to be aware of. What are the positives to performing Candy Cash? Well, I really like how visual this is. Like, the action of the dollar bill changing into the Mentos is crazy fast, and it looks crazy visual, which I really do like. Another thing I like is how on the tutorial video, it is customizable. Like, the gimmick itself you can change out. If you don't use American money, you don't have to worry about, you know, pulling out an American dollar in a place that doesn't even use American dollars, because that would be weird. But they do teach you how to make it, you know, customizable to your own currency, which I appreciated as well. What should this retail as? Well, this currently retails as $35 US, and is that a fair price? Well, for what you receive a pre-made gimmick that comes ready to go, and you don't have to do anything to it unless you live somewhere where they don't use American US dollars. What should it retail as? Well, I really do think that it probably should retail as $30, only because of how practical it is to use. It's not something that I see myself using every single day. I think it's gonna make a really cool Instagram video, and if I'm ever performing at like a large public gathering where it is noisy, then I would probably consider using this as well. But for the restrictions and for, you know, what you do get a well-made gimmick. Like, it's gonna work on you, but it's just, it feels like $30 will probably be a better price because of the restrictions you have with performing it. What would I give this out of 10? I'm going to give this a 7.9 out of 10. The reason it is getting docked is because of the sound issue and how it's loud depending on where you're performing. Another thing is the lighting. You just need to be aware of it, and your angles. You can't just perform this surrounded. So there are some pretty big restrictions on it. So if you're performing somewhere where you can control all that, then you're probably going to like it. But if you're not, then you just need to be aware of the restrictions you have, because you will have to be able to control those. Should you pick this up, if you can control the restrictions that I have named throughout this review, and you're okay with the restrictions that I've named, then you would like it. And if you want something that's going to grow your Instagram or social media following, then this will be a really cool social media effect as well. So it just depends on where you perform and what you would use this for on if you should pick it up. That's going to do it for this video. If you'd like to purchase Candy Cash, the link will be in the description down below. Now also, if you purchase it from Mystique Factory, then remember to use code TOWER10 at checkout to save 10% off your first order with them. Now also in the description is a link to my Instagram page. There you can follow me on Instagram at TOWER1STARMAGIC. There I post all sorts of like Q&As, behind the scenes. I post some magic that I've done. I post some magic that I've created. All sorts of stuff, so definitely go check that out. And I'm going to be doing a giveaway soon where you'll have to follow my Instagram, so go ahead and get a head start on that if you would like to. So thank you so much once again for tuning in. Hopefully I'll see you in another video I put up, I upload sometime soon. See ya.